There's a storm brewing inside you, isn't there? A storm they didn't see coming, one they thought would never rise. They thought you'd stay quiet forever, that you'd take every blow, every betrayal, and keep on smiling like it didn't tear you apart. But they were wrong. They've underestimated you for the last time. This isn't the kind of storm that roars loudly. It's the quiet storm, the kind that builds in silence, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash its power. And when it does, everything changes. This is the storm of my revenge. It started small, didn't it? A word, a look, a promise broken without a second thought. They betrayed you in ways that cut deep, ways that only you understand. You trusted them. You believed they had your back. But instead, they turned on you, leaving you stranded in a world where loyalty is nothing but a word tossed around like it means something. You don't forget those moments. The times when you stood there, stunned, wondering how it all went wrong. The times when they left you to drown in your own thoughts, making you feel like you were the one who wasn't good enough. But you and I both know the truth. It wasn't you, it was them. They were the ones who failed you. And the worst part? They thought you'd stay silent, that you wouldn't fight back. They thought you'd just accept your fate, swallow your pride, and fade into the background like you never mattered. But here's where the story changes. Because while they moved on, while they laughed behind your back, something began to stir inside you. A quiet storm. A storm they couldn't see, because they were too busy underestimating you. There's a power in silence that most people will never understand. The silence after betrayal, it's not weakness. It's not defeat. It's preparation. You see, while they've been busy living their lives, believing they've won, you've been preparing. Every insult, every failure, every time they ignored you, it's all been fuel. The quiet storm isn't the kind that screams and rages for attention. It's the kind that builds slowly, calculating, waiting for the right moment to strike. And when it does, it won't just make noise. It will destroy everything in its path. They thought your silence meant you'd given up. But in reality, your silence was your strength. While they were loud, you were listening. While they were careless, you were focused. And while they were living their lives as if you didn't matter, you were becoming something they could never expect: unstoppable. Pain changes people. You know that better than anyone. It takes something from you, something you can never get back. But it also gives you something in return: clarity. When you're in pain, everything becomes clear. You see the world for what it really is. You see people for who they truly are. And you start to understand that you can't rely on anyone but yourself. The pain they caused you, it didn't break you, it transformed you. You stopped looking for approval. You stopped waiting for validation from people who didn't deserve your time. And instead, you started building. Piece by piece, you rebuilt yourself, not from the person they tried to tear down, but from someone stronger, someone who no longer cared about their opinions or their judgment. Every day you moved in silence, working on yourself, getting stronger, smarter, more focused. You learned to harness your pain, to turn it into power. They may have thought they broke you, but in reality, they gave you the greatest gift of all: purpose. Patience is a weapon. Most people don't understand that. They think that being patient means being passive, being weak. But patience is what separates those who act on impulse from those who act with precision. You didn't rush your revenge. You didn't act out of desperation or anger. No, you waited. You waited for the right moment, the right opportunity, when the storm you'd been building inside could finally be unleashed. They moved on like nothing happened, thinking they had defeated you. They continued to live their lives, unaware of the storm brewing just beneath the surface. They forgot about you. But you never forgot about them. Every slight, every betrayal, it stayed with you. Not as a burden, but as a reminder of what was coming. And when the time came, you didn't explode in rage. You didn't scream for vengeance. You acted with calm, with clarity, with the kind of quiet determination that shakes people to their core. Because real revenge isn't about making noise, it's about making a lasting impact. It's about showing them that the person they tried to destroy has become someone they can't even recognize. And now, the storm is here. The quiet storm, the one they never saw coming. You didn't need to announce your arrival. You didn't need to warn them. The storm speaks for itself. Your revenge isn't about bringing them down. It's about rising so high that they have no choice but to watch in awe. It's about becoming so powerful, so successful, that their words, their actions, their betrayal, all become meaningless in the shadow of your greatness. They wanted to break you. They wanted to silence you. But all they did was awaken the storm inside you. A storm that's been building, growing, waiting for this exact moment. Now, they see you. Now, they understand the strength of someone who moves in silence. The strength of someone who doesn't need to scream for attention because their very presence demands it. You've become the force they never expected, and now they have no choice but to face the consequences of their actions. But here's the thing about revenge. It's not the end, it's just the beginning. The quiet storm doesn't just destroy what's in its path. It clears the way for something new, something greater. You didn't seek revenge to destroy them. You sought it to rebuild yourself, to become something more than they could ever comprehend. And now that you've done that, now that you've shown the world what you're truly capable of, the question becomes, what will you do next? Because the storm inside you, it doesn't just stop. It doesn't fade away once the damage is done. It keeps moving, keeps pushing you forward, to greater heights, to new challenges, to even more powerful victories. You've proven to yourself that you're stronger than they ever gave you credit for. You've shown the world that the quiet ones, the ones who move in silence, are the most dangerous of all. And now, with nothing standing in your way, it's time to embrace the future, a future where you are in control, where you are the storm, shaping the world as you see fit. So what's the lesson here? It's simple. Never underestimate the quiet storm. Never assume that silence means weakness. Because the people who move in silence are the ones who are the most dangerous. They don't need validation. They don't need attention. They're focused, driven, and when the time comes, they will strike with a power that no one saw coming. You are that storm. And the next time someone underestimates you, the next time someone betrays you, remember this moment. Remember the quiet storm inside you, waiting, building, ready to unleash when the time is right. Because your revenge isn't about them, it's about you. It's about reclaiming your power, your strength, your life. And when you finally do, when the storm finally breaks, they'll realize too late what you've known all along, that the quiet storm is the most powerful force of all. And now, the storm has passed. The quiet storm of my revenge has swept through, leaving behind a new landscape, one where I stand taller, stronger, unbroken. They thought they could silence me, but all they did was awaken the power within me. And now, as the dust settles, I see the path ahead. It's clear, it's mine. Because the quiet storm was always mine to control. That's all. I'm out. By the way, if you want to level up in life, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.